Welcome back. My name is Darren Thomas and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to take a look at naive Bayes with Python. So let's go ahead and see what we can learn. Now, when you're dealing with naive Bayes, it's naive because it's assuming that all the independent variables are completely independent, which is generally not the case, but that is what makes it naive. And of course, Bayes is referring to, probability. And so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be running a very, very simple example. Not really complicated, just keep it simple. We're going to, and of course, I forgot to mention that naive Bayes can also be used when you have multiple levels or multiple factors, if you will, of your dependent variable, generally beyond 2. And so we're going to use this to try to predict what type of insurance a person has based on the Dr. AUS data set that's available in the PyDataset module. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And so even though you can use this for multiple levels, we're only going to do a basic two-step classification, if you will. In other words, we're going to have two classes that we're trying to discriminate our dependent values into, if you will. So right here, we have our modules that we're going to be using. So in line 1, we got PyDataset. This is where I get my dummy data from, if you will. We'll use some pandas here. sklearn, naive Bayes in line 3. In line 4, we have our model selection, train test split. We're going to be using that to create our training set and our test set. And then we're going to have, of course, classification report to get our outputs for the classification. So now all we're going to do now is kind of set up our data set here. And so we're going to put that right here. In line 1, we have our actual data set, Dr. AUS. This is, again, sharing medical information for people and what kind of insurance they have. For our dependent variables, there's lots of them here. You can always look these up using the data function, if you will, and use the argument show docs equals true. So these are our different independent variables, and of course, y is our dependent variable. So I'm going to run this, and this is the output for the actual data frame before we separated things. So the star here is this insurance thing. Notice how it's text. So normally, Python has a really hard time with text for prediction, but naive Bayes is able to do that. And of course, naive Bayes is often used for text classification in situations like this. So you can see we have lots of our variables over here off to the side. Again, you can look up the details on your own time about the characteristics of each of these variables. So we're going to move on ahead and go down here. And we're going to set up our train test values right here. So go ahead and do that. All right, success. So xtrain, xtest, that is separating our independent variables into two objects. Ytrain, ytest is also separating our dependent variable into two different objects. And then the function we're using is train test split right here. We're taking this stuff from the x and the y object that I created up here, if you remember that. And then the test size equals 0.3. That means 30% of the data is going to be set aside for the testing. And then random state is like the seed number set to 0. Next, we're going to go ahead and set up our model here and train that. So we make an instance of it, then we train. And so the output is not that exciting, but we have to call this function called Gaussian NB. That means Gaussian naive Bayes, obviously. And then after that, we attach this .fit function to it with our training data inside. And so the output is not that exciting. And we didn't really set any hyperparameters if there are any. We're just showing you the basics of how to do this in Python. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to evaluate our model. And then we're going to set up and share with you the outputs here. So in line 1, we set up a object called ypred, predicting the y values, if you will. And we use the CLF, that's the name of our model. That came from up here, in case you forgot. And then we're using the .predict function and using the x_test data set. And then after that, we have our printout of the classification report. It'll show us the different metrics for classification based on our y-test data and, of course, our y-prediction data, our y-prediction output that we just predicted. So I press this, and you can see here that, the numbers aren't that great. Oh, actually there's 4 different classifications here, so that's useful. And so you can see here that there's here's the precisions and the recall. Recall is not too bad for predicting mid-levy, and then but for the rest of it, it's pretty bad. The overall accuracy you can see is somewhere around 47 to 51%, somewhere in there, and none of the numbers are that good. So again, I need to back up and make sure it's clear. We did not have 2 classes here. We actually had 4. I misspoke earlier. Freeport, free, REPA, levy plus, and med levy. So we have 4 different classifications we could have had, but we did not do a very good job at prediction for any of these. And so what we would have to do now is, maybe look at collecting more data, adding more variables, doing something to try to strengthen our model, but this is not anything to get too excited about. So let's go back and see what we did and conclude this video. So in this video, we were exposed to Naive Bayes, another useful tool for making predictions in Python. And so what we did here is we looked at setting up our data set right here by separating the dependent and independent variables. And then from there, we displayed it just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. So there was 4 different levels inside our dependent variable that we were trying to discriminate amongst. Then right here in this particular cell, we just, separated our train and test set, ran our model, and then did our evaluation right here. And the results were not that exciting. You can see that the values were rather low, meaning that we need some help if we want to have success in, making this model better. So I would like to thank you for listening and watching this video. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Thank you again for watching, and take care.